7 years ago, an American woman died from injuries caused by a bulldozer while she was acting as a human shield in Gaza. Next month, her parents may finally know what happened that day. Rachel Corrie's family is bringing a civil suit to the Israeli Defense Ministry. Maria LaHood is a senior staff attorney from the Center for Constitutional Rights. She joins us now live from our New York studios to talk about the case. Maria, thanks so much for joining me. So first of all, I want to ask you, have American authorities or the State Department stepped forward to help Rachel Corrie?
Well, not nearly enough, and in some cases they've even harmed her parents' efforts to get justice. Right after Rachel was killed in Gaza, while she was trying to defend a Palestinian family's home from being demolished while the family was inside, the Corries consented to an autopsy by Israeli officials only on the condition that somebody from the U.S. Embassy would be there, and that didn't happen, yet the autopsy went forward. Even after that, Prime Minister Sharon then assured President Bush that an independent and thorough investigation into Rachel's killing would happen, and that didn't happen. The military conducted its own investigation of itself and found that the bulldozer couldn't see Rachel and didn't intend to kill her.
So why?
It's my understanding.
Sorry, I was just going to ask you.
It's my understanding.
Why don't you think the American government has stepped up in this case to kind of push it forward?
Well, I mean, I do understand that they've helped most recently with the trial that's coming up on March 10th because Israel wasn't going to grant eyewitnesses to the killing visas to get in for the trial, and evidently under U.S. pressure they did let them in. I don't know. I know that at the time they admitted that they didn't think the Israeli investigation was sufficient. I think that it has to do with the United States' relationship with Israel and its hesitance to question Israel and to put pressure on Israel to do anything, really. I know that when the Center for Constitutional Rights represented the Corries in a case against Caterpillar, for knowingly selling the D9 bulldozer to Israel, even though Israel had been demolishing homes in violation of international law, the U.S. government actually came into the case and said that the case should be dismissed because the United States was paying for those bulldozers, and that would question foreign policy if Caterpillar was held liable. So I do think it's tied in with the relationship with Israel.
And as someone who's obviously an advocate for constitutional rights, does that anger you?
Of course, of course. Rachel Corrie was a peace activist, a human rights defender, a United States citizen, and she was killed in Israel, or not in Israel actually, in Gaza by Israelis. And the fact that, that Americans, that the United States officials have not done enough to put pressure on Israel, much less the fact that Israel hasn't done what it should do in such a case, is outrageous.
And so really quickly, I want to move beyond just, how the State Department has responded to this case, but also, let's talk about the media here. Many people haven't heard about this story. And, usually when something happens to Americans abroad, it's all over the news, like with the 3 hikers in Iran. Do you think the media purposely ignored this story?
I don't know if it's purposeful, but it certainly is that not enough attention has been paid to it. I know in some circles people are very aware of what happened to Rachel Corrie, but most people, I don't know if they do know or not. But because she was advocating on behalf of the human rights of Palestinians, I do think that's one reason that it doesn't gain as much attention as other incidents abroad.
Well, Rachel Corrie, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this case, and we'll certainly be updating our viewers on the latest with Rachel Corrie.